Every coffee needs a lotus.
It's nice easing back into old routines, only now with extra care. Let's do it for ourselves, for our loved ones, for everyone's safety.
Hurry up, let's go. Let's go.
And staying safe starts at home.
Nice.
From how we work and learn, to the little ways we find joy. If you must head out, take extra care. Making a small effort, being mindful, they go a long way to keeping us all safe. The health of all depends on each one of us. So let's work together, using new tools and keeping to our new habits to protect the people we love. At work, let's all be good team players.
Hi, good morning. How are you? Good.
A little distance between us today will be good for us all tomorrow. A little care can protect the one thing that means the world to us. So let's do our part.
The views and opinions expressed by the speaker Host, commentator, or other third party in ARIVA webinars, e-learning events, and/or virtual masterclass are those of the speaker, host, commentator, or third party and do not necessarily reflect and represent the views and opinions of ARIVA. Furthermore, ARIVA does not warrant, express, or imply the merchantability and fitness for a particular purpose of any product information, service, or process presented by the speaker, host, commentator, or third party, and ARIVA specifically disclaims any legal liability or responsibility for the accuracy, completeness, or usefulness of any product information, service, or process presented. Finally, material or information presentation, opinion, process, or service by, on any trade name, trademark, manufacturer, or otherwise during ARIVA webinars, e-learning events, and/or virtual masterclass do not constitute or imply ARIVA's endorsement or recommendation of such opinion, process, service, item, or organization.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to ARIVA Academy's free live webinar with our topic this afternoon, High Performance Finance Teams, Top Skill Set for Sustainable Finance and Accounting Professionals. I am excited to be with everyone. I'm Kate and I will be your host the whole afternoon. Now, before I introduce our speaker, I have a few reminders to make sure that our program will run smoothly the whole afternoon. ARIVA is committed to protecting your privacy, hence stricter security of this webinar has been implemented. For better viewing of your Zoom experience, we encourage you to please update your Zoom application by visiting their website. And for those of you who are using their mobile gadgets to view this webinar, you can go to either the Google Play Store or the Apple Store so you can download and install the Zoom app. Now, I want to know who here is joining an ARIVA Academy webinar for the first time. If it's your first time, can you type hi here in the chat box? Also, let us know where you are watching us from. I was informed that we have a lot of participants who are from out of town. So let me say hi to our friends who are in Aklan, in Antique, in Baguio, in Batangas, in Butuan, Cagayan de Oro, from Zambales, from Cebu, from Cotabato, from Dagupan, Davao, from Jensen, wow, Iloilo, Isabela from La Union. We have friends who are in Laguna right now, also from Leyte, Lucena, from Naga, Olongapo City, Oriental Mindoro, from Ozami City, from Surigao City, from Tarlac to Gegaraw, Vigan, and Zamboanga. That means Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, magandang hapon, Philippines. And we have viewers who are also watching us from out of the Philippines. They're out of the country. We have friends who are in Doha, Qatar right now, in India, in Malaysia, in Saudi Arabia, from UAE and USA. Hello, good afternoon. I'm not sure, is it good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are right now. We have from Malaysia, yes. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to ARIVA Academy. And for those who are attendees in the past, welcome back. We are very happy to have you here again with us. Yes, we have friends from Camsur, Cavite. I'm seeing that here in the chat box. Just from Mandaluyong, I'm here in Parañaque City. We're having a very beautiful, sunny afternoon here. From Balagtas, Bulacan, from Cagayan de Oro, from Pampanga, from Cagayan Valley, from Pangasinan. Hello. I saw someone who was from Tacloban. Maupay nga hapon. Did I say it right? Hello there. Very happy to have you here with us. Now, I want to make sure that once our speaker is on screen, you will be able to hear her discussion clearly. So let us do an audio check. Please type 111 here in the chat box if you can hear me clearly. You can also type 222 if you can't hear anything. Type 2121 if you can hear me, but the sound that you're hearing is breaking up, or I sound robotic or choppy. Type question mark if you don't understand what is happening, and we will try to help you out. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of 111s. That's good to know. Thank you so much for your feedback. Later, we'll have a 5-minute break. I will be announcing that. Participants' microphones will be temporarily disabled by our administrator during the discussion to avoid interruptions. But for those of you who might have questions, you can click the raise hand button during our Q&A portion, and then that is when we will allow you to unmute yourself and ask your question directly to our speaker. Or you can also type them here in the chat box, and then during the Q&A portion, I will be reading them. An e-certificate of attendance will be awarded to participants who will successfully complete the entire virtual masterclass. And as proof of your attendance, please make sure your cameras are turned on all throughout our session this afternoon. Again, make sure your cameras are turned on all throughout the session. And your certificates will be available 3 to 5 working days after the learning session. Please help us build and improve our service with your comments and feedback. You can scan this QR code. We'll also be posting the link to this feedback form here in the chat box later. Fill out the form at the end of our session and then send it back to us. We'll greatly appreciate your feedback. Thank you. And there you go. Now I am ready to introduce our speaker. Here goes. Our speaker is a certified public accountant and audit expert who is based in Dubai. She is on a mission to end burnout and help others live happier lives through audit, coaching, and training. Her mission led her to get recognized as the 2021 #1 most influential Filipina on LinkedIn, Best Career Coach by Global Coach Awards, and Global Women Who Rule, and more. For over 20 years, she made a positive impact on big companies like Intel and Emirates Airlines, which led to million-dollar improvements in performance, productivity, and profits. She brings with her real-life strategies and stories with her 20-plus years of experience and expertise working with various multiple industries and personalities around the world. So everyone, let us welcome our speaker, Ms. Wanda Tan Kalupig. Good afternoon, Ms. Wanda.
Thank you, Kate, for that introduction. Is my sound clear?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
So, my question ako agad, do I need to start now, Kate? O meron pa ba tayo?
Yes, we can start. We are very excited to listen to you this afternoon.
Thank you so much. But before I share my slides, I want to ask a question to every participant here today. My first question, do you want to know the secrets of high-performing teams? Yes, yes, yes. Let's type it in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. Do you want to know the secrets of high-performing finance teams? Wow, thank you, Judy. Ang bilis, ha? I love this crowd. My next question, do you want to know the skill sets to have high performance team and of course to be a high performer yourself. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. Okay, last but not the least, do you want to know tips and tools that you can immediately apply so you can be a high performer? Yes, yes, yes. Wow, I love. So thank you. Ang bilis ng chat natin. Candice, Diana, I would like to thank everybody for being here. Let me just share my slide. Kate, is my slide okay? Seen ba ba?
Yes, now we can see it.
Thank you. Now, if you answered yes to any of the questions, whether you want to know,
Recording in progress.
high-performing teams, what are the skill sets you need to have so you can be a high performer? And what are the tips and tools that you can immediately apply so you can build high-performing teams, or you could be a high performer team yourself. Now, if you answered yes, ito po ang tamang platform for you today. My name is Wandalyn Tan Kalupik. I would like to thank, of course, every person who's here today. First, I would like to thank JM. 5 years ago, quick story, when I started my journey to training, kasi syempre we're accountants, right? And it's like, I really want to be a trainer. I love it. And then ARIVA Academy is at the top of the mind, but I really had no idea how to reach JM. But last year I was able, I think it was just beginning of this year, I reached to JM and it brought me here today. So thank you, JM. Thank you to Kate. Thank you to Anne, to every person, who's part of ARIVA Academy. Lahat po, everybody who's attending from different parts of the Philippines, from Qatar, India, Malaysia as well. And I would like to, of course, those who are celebrating their birthdays and anniversary, I would like to thank you. There's not enough time, but I would like to acknowledge and thank you all. And of course, I always believe, and I've been burned out myself. I mean, if you listen to that introduction of Kate, I used to be the audit manager of Emirates Airlines, but at the peak of my career, I was always sick and I was always stressed. And for some reason, that affected my performance at work. And I learned a very, very simple tool for you to be a high performer. And for you to build high-performing teams, you need to be relaxed. When you're relaxed, you can think well. You can make the right decisions. According to study, 50% of your decision-making will improve if you are relaxed. Also, if you are relaxed, you can work well, do things quickly. And it's a very powerful tool in seconds that can give you access to more peace and happiness. So what do you need to do today? And I hope you can do it with me. Just hold your heart. Okay, I want you to all hold your heart. Inhale. When you inhale, I mean, your shoulder should be, should be up. And then when you breathe out, there should be a sound. So inhale God's love. Exhale all your doubts, fears, and worries. With the sound. Inhale God's love. Exhale all your doubts, fears, and worries. Inhale God's love. Exhale all your doubts, fears, and worries. One more. Inhale God's love. Exhale all your doubts, fears, and worries. Is that a good exercise? Yes, yes, yes. Even if you just remember this very simple exercise, I promise you already, a lot of people were able to perform well, because they are stress-free. And because if you're stress-free, you will never be sick again, because sickness and stress are all related. Thank you, Danilo and Mona, for saying yes. Now, I know there's an introduction already, but I just want to give more information. Why am I here today? I love helping Filipinos. I've been here in Dubai for over 14 years now. And, my career progression was not easy, neither my relationship with a lot of people, because I've been working with multiple nationalities, multiple personalities. So I am very excited about sharing my journey to help others, because I know that it's not easy to work. That's first. Second, it's very difficult to always perform at your best. And of course, it's very easy to get overwhelmed, to get burned out. So I really am now on a mission to help others overcome burnout and of course to be happier through audit, training, and coaching. So today we're going to do a quick audit about yourself. We're going to do, of course, this training, and I'm going to do some coaching. When we do have time, I would love to guide you further. And that brings me, I want to thank you so much that I actually have a free book for everybody. In 2016, I actually wrote this book. I was thinking at the peak of my career, I should be very happy, right? but there was emptiness and unexplainable happiness in my heart. And I really look for life's meaning, and that led me to writing a book. I mean, it wasn't easy. I attended so many programs. I took so many coaches' help to get to where I am today, where I am happy, stress-free. So I actually created the book in Amazon. I donated it here in Dubai to the largest, library in the Middle East and North Africa region. I would love to give it to you today. This is published in Amazon. So just go to this link and, there's a simple just Q&A before you get the book, but I would love to give that gift to you, my way of saying thank you. Just take a screenshot of this because I'm going to move to the next slide now. Now, who can guess? I always love to give rewards. So I'm going to give 10 peso load. Just Kate, paki-monitor na lang. What do you think, if you've heard, what is the 3 most dangerous words in the world? Sige, guess tayo. What's the 3 most dangerous word in the world? Okay? Can somebody guess, chat? What is the 3 words, ha? Idiot, 1 word lang yun. Later is 1 word, surrendering. Okay, for the essence of time, it's your fault. Wow, kind of. But the 3 most dangerous words in the world, pakitandaan po, I know that. Ay, ang galing, minanalo. Somebody answered correctly. Kate, just backtrack for me. Somebody answered it correctly. I know that. You know why? The moment you say, I know that, or the moment you say, alam ko na yan eh, your mind immediately shuts down and it stops from learning. So today, I want to ask you to please open your mind, because maybe some of the things that I'm sharing is known to you, but what I want to add on upon that is that what can you do to make it work for you, and what are the stories, and successes that work for me that can also work for you. So remember, open your mind, because according to Alvin Toffler, the illiterate of the 21st century, this is true, it is not those who cannot read or write. It is those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Well, if you're here today, that tells me a lot of story that you're very good because you want to learn and you want to keep on relearning. But also, I want to tell you, there are many things we need to, let go of and unlearn, specifically in the culture of the Philippines, right? That we should not speak or we should not ask questions. We need to continuously evolve so we can be successful, of course, to build high-performing teams. Now, my question as well for you today, I know I have my agenda of being here. What do you want to learn from me? Okay? Because if you're clear, you've attended many webinars, but you can get the most if you're clear why you are here. What do you want to learn from me? Can you type in the chat, please? What do you want to learn today? Because I have like 30 plus slides and I want to focus on what will only bring value to you. Okay, let's see. Who's going to share? Of course, I'm going to give reward to the first person who's going to share today. And mind you, there's no right or there's no wrong. This is a very open platform for you to share. What do you want to learn from me today? Okay, I'm talking about high-performing teams. What else? Let's see. Who's going to share? What do you want to learn from me today? Okay, naghang ba? Did my Zoom stop working? Who wants to share? Okay, I'll make it 20 peso na. Whoever wants to share. 20 peso load. What do you want to learn from me today? Aside from high-performing teams, is there anything specific? Ayan, I love Rogelio Silawan. He said, how to be a successful... Oh my God, ang bilis din. Let me just make it big. Sabi niya, how to be a successful finance team. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Also, there is some comments about... Let me just read that. To become a better finance team member, thank you. Effective decision making, that's very good. How to be efficient at work. So the one who answered first, si Rogelio, may 20 pesos sa akin yan. Okay, keeping composure, thank you. I would love to answer each and every question that you have and every objective that you wrote down. Please, if there is still time, ask me later, or if we do have a lot of time, stop me in between and ask questions, and I would love to answer your questions. Now, What are we going to talk about today? Today, we're going to talk about what are the top communication skills that finance professionals need in order to thrive. You know, in my 20 plus years being a certified public accountant, I learned that technical skills are not enough. There's so many things that you need to know in order to thrive and be successful. Of course, the other thing you need to know, what are the right words that you need to use for effective communication? I mean, when I used to be audit manager for Emirates, imagine, I work with many different nationalities and personals, people who are older than me. And how can you use the right words to convince these people that whatever you're saying is something that is valuable and something that they need to do to improve the performance, productivity, and profit of the business? Also, how can you influence different stakeholders? I think as finance team, we deal with our own internal team and you also deal with other people, right? And there's always gap in communication because we accountants, I know, are very good in numbers. But also, you need to have a very good communication skill so you can communicate effectively and with credibility. People will listen to you if you are an effective communicator and of course, if you are credible enough. Now, what are the topics we will discuss today? Well, I hope in the next few hours, actually, I have 1 hour left, we'll talk about what are the different critical finance skill sets. What is effective communication? What are the key components of effective communication? How can you, communicate effectively? How can you also listen effectively? How to build rapport in 10 seconds. This is a very important. And the last but the most important, the art of assertive communication. Now, let's go first to our survey. I want to ask you, what do you think, what are the most important soft and life skills important to thrive in your career? Because, if you want to improve, if you want to be a high performer, the first step is awareness. Awareness about what are these soft and life skills that I think is important to thrive in my career. And of course, if you're a part of a team, what are the most important skills? Now, I want you to go to menti.com and then type this code, or of course, you can scan the code and go directly. Now, as you answer, I'm going to see that results right away in my screen. Let me just go there. Okay, give me some answers. What do you think are the most important soft and life skills? Okay, there are 3 answers already. Okay. Okay, interpersonal skills, correct. Effective communication. Remember, there's no right or wrong. I would love to hear all the answers you have. People, of course, relationships are very important. Good listener, attitude, the ability to inspire the team. Of course, what they said, if you can inspire people, you can move wonders. Good listener, communication, listening ears, these are very good things. Okay, what are the other things? Confidence, of course. If you're confident, people will listen to you. People will trust you. Public speaking, efficient communication, interpersonal skills. Wow, that's a lot. Leadership, time management, effective communication, open-mindedness. Thank you all for your answers. All those answers are correct. And today, I would like to challenge you on the next level. Now, what are the critical, finance skill sets? Thank you for those. I wish I could read all of it if we do have time. But see, we do have soft skills and technical skills. I'm a certified public accountant, but I've audited for 14 plus years. And people ask me, Wanda, why you did not take certified internal auditor account examination? And I was like, I don't need to prove that I'm a very good auditor myself, but I focus on the soft skills because I know I'm best in auditing already. And the next thing I did is to study how can I communicate effectively? How can I write, words that can influence different stakeholders? That is why it's very important to know that you do have technical skills, but also understand that soft skills are equally important because I've met a lot of finance professionals who are also very good, but either they did not get promoted or They did not, win the business relationship with others, or they're at war with other departments because they were not able to develop their skill sets in terms of the soft skills. So it's always a balance. You need to be good in what you do technically, but similarly, you need to invest in your personal development. Also, experience and expertise, which one is more important? Honestly, as you go a long way, you will get a lot of experience at work and you become an expert in what you do. According to Malcolm Gladwell, right? You need 10,000 hours to be an expert in anything. And the most important thing as well, beyond soft skills are technical, they're life skills that you need to know. What are those? I think time management. See, specifically for finance professionals, we do have a lot of deadlines. Government reports, government tax filings, we do have a lot of internal reporting ourselves. So time management is very critical. What else? You need to be organized. I mean, imagine how many things you need to file, how many emails you need to make sure that is intact, the invoices that you need to keep. You need to be, organized in many things. What else? You also need to be very good in communication. And to test further, I want you to audit your skills. We are talking about high-performing teams. You want to be a high performer. But for that to happen, we need to start with knowing yourself. As Lao Tzu said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And what do we need to do? Well, on the next slide, I will ask you to please grab a paper and a pen. Or if you want to use your cell phone, that's also okay. But a paper would be better. I want you to look at the skills that I will display. And so these are the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the top 7 skills that finance professionals need in order to thrive personally and professionally. And what do you need to do? Of course, my goal, I hope you all wanted to be at level 5, meaning the highest score in all the skills, and know your current score. Let's say accounting. How good are you in accounting, in analytical and critical thinking? And then compute the difference. So like, for example, maybe accounting skills for me is at 3 or 4 only because I've always been in auditing. But I know accounting for sure. So maybe that's a 4 or a 3 for me. Analytical and critical thinking, that's 5 for me, I'm sure. Then you get the difference. Now, after getting the difference, you should look at the lowest score. Because if your communication skills, let's say you're 5 in terms of the ideal score for communication, but you're at level 1, then this means the number one thing that you need to focus on now is about communication skills. Is it clear? I'm going to give you 2 minutes for this exercise in the essence of time. I want you to please score yourself in the skills, the critical skills that you need to thrive. And then get the difference, because the one with the biggest difference means this is the number one skill that you need to develop and to focus on yourself. And also, if your team members are here with us today, I would like you to, help them as well to look at what are the things that my people need so I can help them thrive as a finance professional. Okay, I'm going to give you a 2-minute timer. Okay, maybe let's make it 1 minute. This is only 7 things. So I want you to make a list. Okay, first make a list of the skills, the score, and what's the difference. And then let's talk about later about the next step. Yes, yes, yes. Is it clear? Can I get the yes, yes? Okay, let's see. Yes, yes, salamat. I want to thank Rose, Grace, thank you. Okay, I'm giving you a minute to do that. Okay. Yes, I love that. Justin, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Okay, 30 seconds left. This is a very quick exercise for you to do. Where am I good at? Where am I not good at? And where should I be? So thank you, John, for saying it. Thank you, Cherry. Okay, 22 seconds left. Subashani, thank you. Thank you for being honest that accounting skills is something you need to be good at. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Yes, Justine. I think if you cannot join Zoom, then you can join our YouTube. Okay, that's it. Timer's up. Okay. Now, did you get, what is the one with the biggest difference for you? I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Subashini is saying accounting skills is something he needs to improve. Ninette also. So if accounting skills is the number one in terms of the biggest difference, then what do you need to do next? I want you to choose the top skill that scored lowest in terms of your current score and has the biggest difference, because that's the number one thing you need to focus on now. So thank you, Rogelio and Ninette, for saying accounting skills is the thing that you need to focus on. Now, my next question to you, what do you need to do to improve your accounting skills? What do you need to do? I want you to write it down on your paper also, because this is the best time for you to reflect. What part of accounting do I need to learn more? Is it about bookkeeping? Is it about adjusting entry, trial balance, cash flow, whatever? What do you need to do? Write it down now. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds, because at least at the end of this training, I want you to have that clarity. What are you going to do next, right? Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. Start writing down of the skills that I think I need. What will I do next? I love what Robbie said, review basic accounting. Yeah, that's very critical, right? You need to go back to the basics to be an expert in what you do. So Bashani said, reading financial reports. Yeah, that's very good. You know, I became an expert in tax audit because I used to read those previous tax reports. I became an expert in airline auditing because I studied everything in terms of the airline revenue cycle. Rochelle said basic accounting, refresh. I love that. Also, if you already know something, maybe you just need a refresher. Also, somebody mentioned financial management and communications. Yes, that's good. What else will you do to improve your financial skills? Update with the new trends. That's very critical. You know, adaptability is one of the key skills of any high-performing finance person, because the law keeps on changing, the accounting rules keep on changing, so you need to be updated. Okay, time's up. Did you list? I love every sharing, but this is a very basic exercise, but a very good start for you to understand where you are, where you want to be, and what's the thing that you need to prioritize so you can thrive. So Crystalline said audit and forecasting. Now, let me continue, because communication is actually one of the top skills. I know a lot of you said accounting, auditing. There are a lot of training about that, and I know you can get that from PICPA and many other. ARIVA, I'm sure, have a lot of trainings on accounting, but today let's talk about communication in general, because communication can help you. What are the characteristics of an effective communicator? Why is it important to communicate in the 21st century? Okay, what are the elements of effective communication? And yes, let's do it one by one. Okay, what is it? What are the 7 C's? Please take a screenshot if you want. You know, if you want to be an effective communicator, okay, what? Maybe you said, you know, Wanda, I need to really be good in accounting. Of course, to be good in accounting, you need to get training. For you to get training, you need to get approval from your boss. And how will you approach that? You need to be very clear that your goal in mind is to be better in accounting. That is why you need a training. So being concise, right? Make short messages, concrete objective of why you need the training, because you want to improve and you want to be better in maybe in audit and forecasting. The message also needs to be coherent. I mean, in any communication, if you're talking about training, focus on training only, okay? Or if you want somebody to make a decision for you, if you're talking to a senior manager, you need to give complete information as well, so that when the senior manager or when the head of the department reads your entire email or your entire report, that person can right away make the decision because the information is complete. Courteous, wow, that's very, very important as well. I remember when you were starting in the morning, when you were doing the test run, Eric asked me, Ma'am, how do I address you po? You know, culturally, this is very important because I've worked with many nationalities. I know in the Philippines are very particular about titles, you know, ma'am, sir. But, you know, if you work with other nationalities, you address them by the first name. if you don't know, it's always very good to be polite, because if you are polite and kind, of course, the first impressions always last. Similarly, be considerate. You know, when you're writing, you need to be considerate. Who is the audience? Who am I speaking to? Because you need to make sure that your message is clear, concise, and considerate to the person reading the message. I always do this exercise, you know, when I have to explain a very complex situation. I imagine speaking to my 4-year-old daughter. I mean, when they were younger, I will always think of how will I explain this very difficult, complex topic of taxation to a senior manager. So I will write it down as if I'm explaining it to the child so that it will be clear, concise, concrete, coherent, complete. Okay. So you need to always be considerate. Yes. Is this slide clear to everybody? If you do have questions, let's park it. Thank you, Rogelio, Nelda, for saying it's Venus. Now let's move to the next one. Did you know about this? You know what they said? 86% of problems in the workplace is because of lack of effective collaboration and communication. I've seen this. I mean, I've worked with many teams, many departments, many organizations. It is, you know, the always the root cause of any problem is the lack of communication. If you communicate erroneously what you need from the other party, you'll never get it. If you also do not communicate with your staff what you need from them, you know, they said 86%, that's quite a high percentage, right? That's why communication is very critical. Communication up and communication down to your people who are reporting with you. Now, let us watch this quick video because I want you to understand what and why is it important to communicate, because as it is said, 86% of workplace failure is because of communication.
This is a story of
Is there a sound? Yes.
Yes, we can hear it.
Thank you, Kate.
4 people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done, and everybody was asked to do it. Everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. I bet this sounds familiar. You've probably played one of the characters. For leaders, accountability starts with looking in the mirror. Being accountable is our ticket to earning the right to hold other people accountable. But in order to do that, we first have to understand what accountability is. Accountability is accepting the responsibility for the outcomes expected of us, both the good and the bad. Anyone who absolves themselves of responsibility cannot effectively lead others. It starts and ends with I. I will do this. I am responsible. I will take ownership, etc. You get the point. Once we get into the habit of taking accountability and saying I first, it will provide the ability to create a culture of accountability. However, demonstrating accountability yourself isn't always enough to help someone else be accountable. As leaders, we often need to hold others responsible. In order to do this, we need to do 4 simple things. The first is we have to establish expectations. Here's what's expected of you. Second, we have to gain commitment for that's what's expected of them. Are you on board with this expectation? Third, we have to inspect what you expect. I'll review what you do. And number 4, we need to provide feedback and consequences. Here's some feedback for what you did, or because you didn't live up to your commitment, here are the consequences. Accountability, above all else, is not merely the means of keeping one honest and in check. Remember the story about everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody, and make it your mission to never put yourself or your team in that position.
Wow, is that short video very useful? My question to you, who are you? Everybody, nobody, anybody, somebody. I think at some point in our lives, personally and professionally, we have those roles, right? You assume that somebody will do something because anybody can do it. But Nobody did it. Yes, yes. Did it happen to you and your team? Shabashani, thank you. She said, we are those people. Thank you, thank you. Now, this is why it's very important to understand what are the elements of effective communication. Because maybe everybody can do it, but nobody did it. That's why as the sender of the information, you need to be clear. What is the expectation that you need from your team member? What is the expectation required from you? Okay. Next, if you're the one who's receiving the task, you need to be sure that you understand the task that's given to you. And of course, the message needs to be very clear what's required from both sides. And what's the channel? There are many channels of communication. It could be email, it could be a call, it could be through WhatsApp, social media. There's so many means of communication now. But the most important thing is that the message needs to be clear. The sender needs to make sure that both, the receiver understand the information, and there should be feedback throughout the team. In terms of what? Number one, he said, you need to set the expectations. You need to ask questions if the expectations are not clear. You also need to inspect what you expect. What does that mean? Maybe you give a task to your staff, but how are you making sure that the task is being done and the task is being done correctly and on time? So you need to continuously ask feedback. Did you understand what I said? Are you on track? Where are we? Do you need any help from me? Helen said, not all have good in comprehension. That's also very true. You know what I realized? We Filipinos are very, I'll say, very careful about grammar. But when I work with other nationalities, they're not very particular about grammar. It's about being direct about your message, being clear what you want from them, and communicating that. Because sometimes you want to sound so intelligent, you just made a very long email that it gets lost in translation, or you speak so well that the message was lost. So you need to be very clear, that your message, the right channel is used. And of course, the feedback, you need the feedback to the person who's receiving the message. And of course, if you're the one who's giving the task, you need to also give feedback. Inspect what you expect from the person. Yes, yes, yes. Is this slide clear? Let's see. Before I move to the next. Thank you, Nico, Nelda Gilbert. Now the next question. What do you think? I have another Menti question here. Which type of communication you think is the highest? Okay, go back to menti.com, okay, using this QR code, or you can go to menti.com using this number. Let me see. What do you think is the highest communication, in terms of how do we do it? Is it words? Is it voice? Is it body movement? Okay, let me see if your guess is right. Let me move to my Mentimeter. Okay, let me see. There's so many answers on the first question. Okay. What is the answer? What do you think? Okay, it's still loading. I don't want to wait for it, but okay, let me see in Zoom. What do you think in the chat? What do you think is the highest? Body movement, voice, words and voice. Okay, I love that. Now let's move to the next one so you can understand. See? Words. A lot of people think words are the highest, component in communication. No, the words that you type, the words you said is only 7%. Also, your voice, that's 38%. What does that mean? Sometimes when you shout, it gives a lot of emphasis, right? The tonality of your voice is very important. But do you also know that when you whisper, you will get heard more? I mean, there are different type of personalities I've seen in corporate. There are people that when you shout, they will hear you. But there are people that when you whisper, they will hear you more. So it's about how you play with your voice, the tonality, the delivery, because the word spoken is only 7%. But the biggest one is what? Body movement. Well, as an auditor, you know what's funny? I have developed my intuition so high that when I have a client who's talking to me, I can immediately say whether that person is lying to me. I can also immediately say that person is nervous or not, not giving me the right information. The truth is that your body language speaks volume. Imagine if I am here giving this training and I'm sitting like this, then I'm doing like that. Do you think you'll ever listen to me? No, right? But if I sit straight, if I use my hands to communicate the message, if I speak clearly, do you think you'll understand me? Yes, yes, yes. Body language speaks volume. The moment you enter a room, you have an energy that you bring to the room, and the people in the room have a lot of energy that you talk about. So let me explain further. I spoke about tone. I have 2 daughters. I remember this tone, I used to practice how I use it. I remember before I will shout, my eldest will cry, but my small one will ignore me. So, but actually I'm scolding the younger one, but because they have different personalities. Now, you have different sets of people that you're managing in your team. You have different set of people that you're managing at the top. And how can you use tone? See, have you met this person that you like right away? For example, you met a person and you like them 100%. Have you met those kind of person, right? And have you met those person that when they speak, you immediately said, I don't like this person? Yes, yes, yes. You know why? Thank you for saying yes. That person is similar to you. Like, for example, if I met this person who's very talkative, I like her already because I know I'm talkative. But if I met a person who is opposite, who's very quiet, I immediately will feel intimidated because I'm talking differently. So, how will you use your tone in terms of communication and influencing others? Now, if you're speaking to the boss, and the boss, your manager or a senior person you're speaking to, is speaking slowly and clearly, you need to follow the tone of the person. Because imagine if I'm the manager and if you're talking to me so quickly, blah, 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 blah. First, I will not understand you. Second, there's already a miscommunication because we are speaking in different tones. So you have to be cautious to say, am I speaking to this person? I should match the tonality of the voice, the rhythm. If I also want to emphasize something, you can have a pregnant pause, is what they call it. You can stop and say, this is very important. You can raise your voice. You can also whisper and say, let us make things work. Can you listen, please? Or you say, do it now. There are many, many ways, but the key is to use the tone of your voice to influence others as well, your physical appearance. If you want to be taken seriously, you need to dress up for success. Imagine if I'm here with you today, I'm wearing a sandal or, will you even listen to me? Because our physical appearance is very, very important in many ways. You know what they said? You need to dress for success. Similarly, gestures, you have to be cautious of my legs. Because when you scratch your head, what's the signal of that? Can somebody, if I'm scratching my head, what's the meaning of it? Or if I do like that, what do you think? Bored, yeah. Confused. So you have to be careful. Maybe it's just a habit for you to scratch your hair or to look up. But the moment you did this in a meeting, it will again give that impression to the person you're meeting that either you're bored, you're confused, you're not confident, you're not thinking, your posture, in communication, specifically as finance professionals, when we talk numbers, a lot of people get lost already. When we talk about audit findings, a lot of people get lost. But you need to also create an environment. Your posture should be credible enough for people to listen to you, for people to trust you. Body language is a whole training itself, but the way you sit down, the way you talk can create rapport or can destroy that. Your facial expression, wow, this speaks another volume, right? I mean, if you deal with another person, if you smile at them, what will that make you feel? I mean, for me, I'll say I'm a very successful auditor because I'm always smiling. People call me the smiling assassin. I mean, I will always smile because that's my nature. At the end of the day, I'm here to work together with the same goal to help the company improve performance, profit, and productivity, right? So I always come with a smile, and together I work with my clients. Similarly with finance. Finance is not a separate team. You are working on the financials to help the company improve. So you need to have that facial expression that is welcoming, and so that people immediately feel comfortable speaking to you, listening to you, regardless of how complex your numbers are or how complex you're explaining to them about taxation. Also, touch. Have you met a person, when they speak to you, they like touch you. They keep on touching you and it's disturbing you. Yes. Have you met those kind of people who keep on touching you, which is actually disturbing? It doesn't make it right or wrong, but there are people who communicate visually, auditorily, meaning through sound, and there are people who connect through touch, which is kinesthetically. So if they want to touch you, not because they want to touch you personally or whatever, because they want to communicate with you. Always stopping when talking, right, Rogelio? This is normal because this is the way for other people to communicate. It doesn't make it right or wrong. Now, if you're the person who taps, a lot of people, be cautious because if you're talking to a person who's disturbed about, being touched, then stop it. Or if you're a person who's talking to that person who loves to, be touched, then keep on tapping that person to get the communication flowing. Yes. Is this slide clear? Okay, salamat Inet, Laika, Subashani, thank you. Now, what are the other things? What is effective verbal communication? Do you want to know the power of words? Yes. Okay, let me see all the videos that we have. I want you to do a very simple exercise. You have your palm, right? Okay. I want you to put it in front of you. We will do a very simple exercise to know the power of words. Now, before we do that, I want you to compare, okay, this, okay, you have the line on this hand, right? You have another line here, correct? Okay, I want you to make sure in terms of your pinky, which one is smallest and biggest? Okay, you have to make sure the lines are together first. Then compare your pinky. At least one of your pinky is smaller and bigger. Okay, for me, it's the right hand. The right hand is the smaller pinky. Okay, got it? Then put it in front of you. Yung smaller hand, no, na my pinky, just one. Okay, found it? Just put one. So my smaller pinky is the right hand, so I put it here. I will say grow longer 10 times. You say it with me, okay? Grow longer, 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 grow longer. Compare it again, okay? So same thing, put it together. Did you see the magic? Okay, actually, Winnie is smiling. Did you see the magic? What happened? Okay, sino gusto who wants to share? What happened? Did it grow longer? Either it became the same size of the other pinky, right? Or it became higher. It grew. Imagine how many seconds did we do that exercise? 10 seconds. Your words are powerful. Now the question is that, what are the words you say to yourself every day? When you look at the mirror, okay? Okay, mag-selfie nga tayo. I want you to get your cell phone. When you look at the mirror or your cell phone and you look at the selfie, what do you say to yourself? Oh my God, I have white hair here. Or parang, oh wait, parang oily yung face ko, ganun. Imagine the words that you use can break you or give you a breakthrough. Because I met a lot of people, when they see their face, they're like, you're so beautiful, you're so kind. I thought she was crazy, but she's very beautiful herself and very successful because she talks to herself in the mirror. Now, maybe you're thinking, yeah, one, that's for personal things. I know, but for people to believe in you, you need to first believe in yourself. For you to be a credible person, you need to think you're credible first. So you need to be watchful of the words that you tell yourself. And also, you need to be careful of the words you tell to others. How are you motivating your staff? Okay. Also, if I say, Don't think of the pink elephant. 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 Are you thinking about it? Yes, yes, yes. Pag sinabi kong, do you think pink elephant, you think about it, right? You know why? What's wrong about it? You know what? I also took certified NLP master practitioner because why? The mind doesn't understand negative words. So if you tell yourself, don't forget to file the tax return, don't forget to finish the report, what do you think they do? They forgot, right? Because you said, don't forget to file now. This is why it's important to use the power of words. Remember to avoid the words that's negative. So stop starting with the word don't and use the power of words in positive communication, meaning instead of saying, don't forget to file the tax return, say, remember to file the tax return on time. Okay. If you say, don't forget to do the payroll, or remember to do the payroll. Okay. If you want them to stop paying the invoice late, or you said, start paying the invoice on time. You know, you need to make use of the words. Similarly, you always, thank you, Renson, for saying this. You always need to make sure that you're giving a positive communication with others. You know why? Have you heard of that thing? People will, not forget what you said, but they will forget what you made them feel. Did you hear that? That's very true. I mean, I've met a lot of people and there will always be a mark on my head how they treated me in the beginning and throughout the end. Because, the way you speak to others, it's the first impression that always lasts. And kindness and positivity will always, always win. If you speak with respect, if you write emails with respect, I mean, I know a lot of people in finance deal with a lot of stakeholders. If you communicate positively to the people, say, I need this information for processing of blah, blah. Why don't you write additionally in the end, looking forward to hearing from you because we want to process this invoice on time. Do you think the purchasing department will give you the information? Yes. Number one, you're very polite and you're explaining why you need the information. Again, this is another day of training. If you want to learn more about the power of words, the words to avoid, and what is the importance of positive communication to win people, to develop relationships, and of course, to be productive. Yes, yes, yes. This slide is clear. Thank you, Sheena. Okay, now let's move to the next one. What is listening and communication? Listening is another set of whole day training, but I want to keep it very simple for you. Remember, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen more and speak less. I mean, when I came to Dubai, I was so overwhelmed in the beginning because number one, when I came here in 2006, I was the youngest person. I was the only Filipina in our team. Third, I was intimidated because every person that's working with me are senior people. So, and for me, I've always been an introvert, so I will always just listen and absorb. And I remember during the training, one of the trainers asked me this very difficult question. He said, why are you not talking? Do you not understand or are you not listening? Well, I responded with respect. I said, this is my understanding of the training. I summarized his full day training in 3 sentences. And, thankfully, the head of the department, he's the second head, was there. And he immediately said, you are going to be on revenue. Now, it doesn't make it right or wrong. But you need to actually listen. It's not about proving, don't speak just to speak that, just to impress that you know something. You need to listen more because when you listen more, number one, you will see a lot of those body language that's never communicated. Number two, you will also sense in the tone of the voice what's important and what's not. And when you tend to listen more, you're gonna learn so much more. Yes, yes, yes. Many people want to speak but don't want to listen. Actually, that's true. I mean, a lot of people, we will talk more about that on the next slide, which is called what are the levels of listening? Because a lot of people, they listen so they can speak back. Now, the problem with that is a lot of things get lost because you do it. But there's a lot of people who really actively listens. And we'll talk about that later. Now, this is the next slide. I want you to listen so well. Absorb this short video because listening is, again, a very powerful tool so you can be an effective and a high-performing staff. And of course, if you're building your teams, if you're leading a team, you need to have the best listening skills so that your people, you can motivate them, you can inspire them to work with you.
Welcome to Better Manager. Today we're going to talk about becoming a better listener. We take listening for granted, and we neglect paying attention to what listening really is because we are often more interested in talking. Here's a great way to think about listening from the Coaches Training Institute. Level 1, the focus is on me. When you listen at level 1, you are listening with the intent to respond. You're actually listening to the voices in your head. Have you ever heard those voices? They are thinking about what you should say next. We need level 1 listening when we're at a restaurant reviewing the menu or asking for directions. It's about getting what we need and what we want to say. We're busy formulating our thoughts and our next question. Level 1 listening doesn't work when we're trying to connect with someone and hear what they need. Level 2 focuses on the other person. Level 2 is when you listen for what someone is saying beneath their words. You are truly listening, and your focus is on them. You are listening for what someone is trying to say by being fully present. You listen with curiosity. You reflect. When you listen at level 2, people will feel heard, and that is a wonderful feeling. Level 3, focus on the energy. When you listen at level 3, you're getting a feel what's happening and using all your senses. Level 3 draws upon the energy of more than just the words. It uses body language, tone of voice, noticing what's going on, and just feeling the room. Listening to the bigger picture, in addition to the words. You can feel the energy in a team when you walk in a room. It's that kind of awareness. In order to become a better listener, you need to be aware when you are listening and when you need these 3 levels. Level 1, focuses on you and the voices in your head. Level 2, focuses on the other person and understanding. Level 3, focuses on the energy and using all your senses. Call to action. When you are doing a one-on-one or at a meeting, observe what level of listening you are in at the moment and try to shift to another level. Just notice. Have a great day.
Thank you. Actually, we're gonna have a quick break now. Are you learning so far? Yes, yes, yes. Tingnan nga natin, may natutunan ba kayo sa akin? Thank you, Judy Rose. Now I'll turn it over to Kate because we're gonna have a short break.
Thank you so much. Okay, good afternoon again, everyone. I'm back. As our speaker has mentioned, we're going on a break, and this time we're doing something exciting as well. So I know we're learning a lot from our speaker, but we're going to do a quick game, okay? And there will be prizes. Hindi pwedeng ang speaker lang natin nakakapamigay ng prizes. This time, ARIVA is also in the mood to give away prizes to 2 lucky winners this afternoon. And we are going to play a game, and it's called Guess the Movie. This is how the game goes. We will be showing you short clips or short trailers of a particular movie. And what you have to do, you have to be the first one to type the complete and correct title of that movie here in the chat box. Now, if you're the first one to get it right, you will be receiving 200 pesos that will go straight to your GCash account. Ayan. There we go. So 2 lucky participants will be 200 pesos richer at the end of our session. Okay, so I hope you guys are very excited because we are. But for you guys to get the feel of the game, for you to understand how it goes, let's do a trial run. No prize yet, but I want you to start guessing the title of this movie. There you go. The chat box was moving so fast, it was very hard for me to catch up. But the answers I'm seeing are High School Musical, Step Up, High School. There's a difference. There's 2 words and 1 word. High School Musical 1, High School Musical 2. Let us see. What's the title of that movie? It is High School Musical. Yes, it was Maui Martinez who was able to get it right. But Maui, sayang, no prize yet, but you've proved that you are really a fast typer and you know your movies. I just would like to remind everyone that we are looking for the complete and correct title. Most of you type 1 word high school, but here the title is 2 words. So we're very particular with that and we will not be accepting typo errors. So, for you to get 200 pesos, make sure you get this right. Let's watch it.
Look, a girl.
Who said that?
Hello.
You can talk.
Hello, of course. It's all he ever does.
How lovely to make your acquaintance.
Want to see me do a trick? What happens when the last petal falls?
The master remains a beast forever.
And we become antiques. What did you do to it?
Nothing.
Get out of here! Go!
There you go. Ang bilis talaga. Mag-type ng ating participants. Here are your guesses. Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. I also saw Sleeping Beauty. But the rest are Beauty and the Beast. Let's see. Do we have a winner? It is, yes, Beauty and the Beast. And the first one who was able to type it correctly, we have Gladen Joy Labadia. Congratulations, Gladen. First winner. This is what you have to do, Gladen. Please send your GCash account number to ARIVA Academy Philippines. Please send that to us privately, okay? Don't send it to everyone. We want to protect your data. ARIVA Academy Philippines, and wait for your prize. Now, Gladen, because you've won already, you won't be able to join the game anymore, okay? Para naman, your other co-participants will get a chance in getting the last 200 pesos that we're giving away. Congratulations again. So to everyone else, 1 more 200 pesos is at stake. It might be yours. So let's watch this.
Kung Fu lives in how we put on the jacket. Be strong. Take off the jacket. And lives in how we treat people. Everything is Kung Fu. Check it out! Connect to the energy around you.
I get it. You're Yoda and I'm like a Jedi. Oh yeah.
Your focus needs more focus.
Okay, wow. Again, ang bilis ng chat box. The answers I got. We have Avatar, Mulan, Shang-Chi, Sadako, parang iba yata yung napanood niya. Noah, Mulan, Kung Fu, Karate Kid, Kung Fu, Kid. What are the other answers? The Karate Kid, Avatar, Kung Fu, Karate Kid 1. Okay, let's see. What is the title of that movie? It is, yes, The Karate Kid. A lot of you type just Karate Kid, but the real title is The Karate Kid. And the first one who was able to type that correctly, we have our last winner, and that is Melka Caballero. Congratulations, Melka. You also received 200 pesos. So please send your GCash account number privately to ARIVA Academy Philippines. Okay, send that to us and then expect your prize in a little while. I am hoping that the problem with GCash is okay now so that you will receive your prize instantly. But don't worry, you will still be receiving your prize. Okay, now I am sorry there's no more. Those are the prizes that we have. But I would like to move on to my other announcements before I give the floor back to our speaker. Again, congratulations to our winners, and thank you to everyone who joined that game. I hope you all enjoyed that. Now, stay on top of our insights and updates. Stay connected with ARIVA Academy. You can join ARIVA Academy's Facebook group. You can also like ARIVA Academy's Facebook page. You can follow us in LinkedIn, and also please check out our website, www.ariva.com.ph. And I am inviting everyone to be a part of the growing ARIVA Academy Viber community. You can scan the QR code that will bring you instantly inside our Viber community. So we're looking forward to welcoming and seeing you there. Now, for those of you who might have missed the free live webinars that we offered starting 2020, so we have a lot of that, you can all catch them in our YouTube channels, okay? Subscribe to these channels, ARIVA Academy and ARIVA Talks. Now, I'd like to invite you to some of our upcoming learning events. Here are some of them. We have the DOLE Department Order 238-23, revised rules on the administration and enforcement of labor laws. That will be tomorrow already, May 10th. And on May 12th, the 19th, hitting targets through innovative collection and receivables strategies. Again, that's on May 12th. May 17th, we have fourth fundamentals of cash flow and working capital management. Cash flow analysis, budgeting, and forecasting. Again, that will be on May 17. On May 18, we have the mini MBA in supply chain management. May 19, the 10th effective administration of salary and payroll law. How to handle payroll accurately, legally, and with complete confidence. Project management essentials for non-project managers will be the topic on May 25. Another free live webinar will happen before we end the month of May. This will be on May 13, and a very interesting topic, starting a business, how to create and manage your own business. Again, it's a free live webinar, so you can register as early as now for this one. The next free live webinar will be on June 1, behavioral-based interviewing skills. Hire the right people with the right skills for the right position. Again, this will be on June 1 already. On June 2, another free live webinar, how to develop your emotional intelligence for effective working relationships. I know this will be very helpful for a lot of us. This will be on June 2 already. On June 6, psychology of persuasion and influencing skills. How to influence and persuade at work. June 7, excellent Japanese HR practices that can be applied in any workplace environment. This is the topic on June 7. Still, it's a free live webinar. On June 16, we have our 7th Bookkeeping Essentials, Accounting 101 and Bookkeeping Basics. So those are the programs that we have. And for those of you who are interested in inviting our speakers to conduct an in-house program exclusive for your team or for your company, we can help you out with that. All you have to do is give us a call or send us an email, and then let us know what topic you have in mind. Here are some of the programs that we offer, but we have a lot more than that. So again, call us or email us, and we'll help you partner with the right speaker under ARIVA Academy Speakers Bureau for that. There we go. I won't be taking much of your time anymore. I will be turning it over again to our speaker, Ms. Wanda.
Thank you, Kay. Yes, yes, yes. We only have 20 minutes left. But are you learning so far? Yes, yes, yes. Ba tayo dyan? Okay. Are we learning so far? Am I on mute? Okay, I'm good. Okay. I think that's a very good, remember, if you go back to the first exercise we did audited your skills, right? And I think ARIVA have every training that you need, from speaking to accounting to communication skills, persuasion. If you need further information about this training, we'd love to support you in the best way we can. Just contact them directly. And of course, remember, what did we ask? There are 3 levels of listening. Who can say? Who can remember? What are the 3 levels of listening? Let's see. The focus is on me. Thank you, Johnny. It's who else wants to share? There are 3 levels, right? Level 1, level 2, and level 3. So the first one, John Rich is correct. Focus on yourself. This is very important in terms of what? What I understand as a leader, as a finance professional, first, you need to focus on yourself so that you can have all the skills, the confidence, the experience, and expertise you need, so that when you go to other people, you'll be credible enough so that people will listen to you. The other level is what? I want to take the next one. Divina also said the level 2 is focus on others. Now, again, as a leader and as a finance professional or a member of our team, you need to make sure that you understand level 2, meaning, remember, only 7% of words that's spoken is 7%. Tone of the voice is 38%. So when you focus on others, you also need not to only listen to the words that's spoken. You need to see the body language of the person, right? Who can guess for the load? O 10 peso lang, ARIVA has 200. Okay, 10 peso muna tayo. Who can guess what are the 3 human needs? It's HUA is the acronym. Okay, who can guess? Every human have 3 basic needs. Now, we want to be heard, understood, third, accepted. Walang nagtama. Pero thank you, Sheena, for guessing. Every person wants to be heard, understood, and accepted. So when you talk to a person, whether it's a senior person or whether it's a person who's your staff, you need to make sure that they feel that they were heard, understood, and accepted, because that is when they will listen to you and you can work together. The last level of listening is what? Focus on the energy. Remember what he said in the video. So when you enter the room, there's an energy of the room, there's an energy of the people, there's the energy that you bring. It's with the tone of the voice, the words that's spoken, the body language, This is when you become a better listener. And what are the other ways for you to effectively listen? Here are 6 ways. You ask positive questions. I know sometimes in meetings, there's a lot of differences in opinion, and it's always good to ask, can you tell me please XX, because I need more understanding, right? So if you always come from a very polite way of saying things, you will always get what you want. You also need to clarify. You need to clearly ask, the question, give 100% attention. And the good thing is that you should also summarize what you understood so that you make sure that whatever is said is understood. You can also paraphrase, right? If another person said something, you can say, am I correct that this is what you said? Because if you paraphrase, that will give a better perspective that the person was hurt. Similarly, remember on level 3, you need to reflect the feelings. You need to listen with empathy because a lot of words are spoken. But imagine if, a person, your staff is speaking to you and that person is shaking, you already know that person is nervous, right? Or if that person is crying, that means the person has a problem. Now, the problem now, we're living in a so much distracted digital world. When people speak, we're on our cell phones, right? But, the moment you give your full attention to the people, to the person you're speaking to, you can have a better way of managing the relationship. You can get things done quickly. You will also be more productive because you can achieve what you want because the people are listening to you. Okay, next. What's next? What are the other ways for you to build rapport? Rapport is very important. You know that it only takes 10 seconds to build rapport. So either the person will hate you or love you. Unfortunately, that's only 10 seconds. And how will you do that? Remember, I said earlier, you need to speak the tone of the voice of the person you're speaking to. And I love that smile. Yes. Thank you for remembering, Emmanuel. You need to mirror and match the person. Why? Okay, I want you to do this simple exercise with me. I want you to, okay, where's my camera? I want you to cross your arms. Okay. Then I want you to reverse that. Okay. I want you to cross your arms and I want you to reverse that. Now, what do you feel? When you do reverse your arm and then you cross, reverse, are you confused when you do it? Confusing, di ba? When you cross your arm and then you reverse it, nakakalito. Similarly, when you deal with another person who's different than you, first they will get confused. This person is different from me. So you need to really make sure that you mirror and match the person. First, tonality of the voice, the actions. If the person is acting like this, waving the hand, then you also wave your hands because that's another way for that person to be comfortable dealing with you. If the person is also holding the pen, right? If the person is holding the pen during the meeting, hold the pen. But remember, if you're in a meeting with a lot of people, you always need to mirror and match the person that you need to influence. It's not about, matching and mirroring every person. It's mirroring the person you need to do business with, the decision makers also. What else? To build rapport, you need to find a common experience. Like if the person likes food, then you talk about food. If the person is married or the person has children, maybe you can talk about kids or sports. You always find a common experience. Again, you will be trusted. You can build good relationships if you find a commonality between you and the person you're speaking with, whether it's somebody, senior to you or somebody who's a member of your team. Find similarity. And of course, the most important thing, you listen actively. So when a person is speaking, I think the full respect that will make the person feel heard, understood, and accept is that you bring your phone down and listen. Look at the eyes of the person, hear the message, and also see the body language. You hear the tone of the voice, how it's delivered. Because that way, if, the person can deal with you comfortably, if the person trusts you, it's very easy for you to deal with that person in terms of work. If you need something from them also, this is very critical. Yes. Thank you, Jandits, for sharing. Find common experience to have a good communication. Yeah, that's always works. At the beginning of the meeting, specifically difficult meeting, it's always good to talk about common experience. Maybe you talk about a recent vacation. If this is something that's, both you are into traveling, maybe that's good. See what Jo Marie said, nababastusan po ako pag may kausap na nag-phone. That's true, right? It's very offensive. Maybe we're just used to cell phones, but it's really offensive, right? When people actually use the phones while you're speaking. So you have to be aware to build rapport. Now let's move to the next one. How can you ask the right questions? Because in communication, for you to be an effective team player or a high-performing person, you need to always set clear intentions. What do I need from this person? What do I need to communicate? you always need to start with the end in mind, because the moment that you are clear what you want, what you need, it's very easy to write that email. It's very easy to say what you need and what you want. And also ask solution-focused questions. Imagine if your staff made an error, instead of asking, why did you make the error, right? Why don't you say, what can we do next time to avoid the error? Instead of saying, why did you file the tax return late? Why not say, what can we do to make sure that we will file the taxes on time? You need to really be, because, specifically, we are dealing in different generations. There's a lot of different generations in the organization. A lot of Gen Zs leave their job easily, right? Millennials too. That's why you need to ask the right questions to develop a good relationship with your team. Yes, yes. We're always towards the end. Yes, I'm managing my time. 15 minutes left. I'm almost there. Now, one of the most important thing, thank you for saying, is the art of assertive communication. It's very difficult to deal with a lot of people, to ask for people to do things for you. There's a 4-step process that I use personally in terms of assertive communication to get anything I want. Number 1, I'm always clear. What is my intention? Like when I was dealing with my staff from different nationalities, what is my intention here? And of course, I will say about the outcome that I want. Like for example, I have this staff who I need to finish the work, but she's not doing the work. And instead of saying, why are you not doing the work, blaming her, I actually had a discussion with her to say, what I want to discuss with you today is for us to find a solution so I can help you complete the work on time, right? But before I say that, I'll say, what I value about you is that, you work hard, you're ready to learn, I can see that you like your work. You have to build a good rapport and say good things to the person that they will openly accept whatever help you need from them. Now, maybe also not from your staff, but from the senior managers, from the president, you need information from them. So what you need to do, maybe you need to ask for budget or for additional training, for your staff or yourself. When you say, sir, can we just have a conversation? Because I need help from you to train myself and my people so we can be, more productive in terms of our work. Then you say, what I admire about this company, we invest in people, we like people to grow, and I admire how you support the people in terms of their personal and professional growth. Imagine if you have that conversation. What's the next thing you have to do? You have to see the challenge, right? So if you're dealing with that manager, let me continue. I'll say, sir, what would make us feel more supported so we can perform better as a finance team is if you can give us more budget for training, or if you can give us time to work, more flexible hours or work remotely so we can at least take care of ourselves and our family. Or you can say, what would work better for us if you can be more flexible in giving us some allowances in terms of training or coaching or whatever. Or say, what support? Let's say for your staff, I need your support to make this work so we can complete the work on time. And of course, lastly and most importantly, you need to summarize the help you need. And you need to ask commitment. You say, sir, can you help me please to approve this training budget so I can, help my staff perform better? Can you tell me please what else we can do so we can get ourselves trained and become better professionals? Also for your staff, you ask, can we agree on that you will do the work, and if you need some help from me, you will come back and tell me the problems? Or can you help me to make sure that the work is done on time? See, assertive communication is the most powerful way for you to effectively communicate and win, achieve whatever goal you want. So you have to remember 4 things, right? You take a screenshot of this if you want, but this is very simple, but very powerful. I use it at work. I use it for my children too. And it always works. Yes, yes, yes. Clear? So we still have question for Q&A? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Now, what are the other 7 tips? Maybe you're working with different levels of not only about different culture, if you're working with different gender, different gaps in terms of, different gender gap, different nationalities, different personality, Gen Z, millennial, whatever, these are the 7 tips for effective communication. You always need to smile, smile whichever country I visited during audits or personal, for personal leisure. Smile is the common language. You also need to be self-aware. How are you, composing yourself so that you will build a good rapport with the person you're speaking to? Speaking respectfully is also very important. What else? Stop stereotyping. Sometimes when you meet people, like they will say, oh, you're a Filipino, then you're very good in karaoke, right? I always get that. Oh, you're Filipino, then you're good at singing. Similarly, when we met Indian, oh, you're vegetarian. I mean, the stereotyping, you have to stop it. Every person is different. So stop stereotyping that. Also set very clear intentions. What is your intention for speaking to the person? And make sure you study the culture and the behavior. I know the Filipino culture is unique in many ways. We're always taught to listen, to speak less, but there are certain nationalities, and like Americans, for example, they want direct communication. So you have to follow, for your American colleagues or counterparts to understand you, you need to speak directly also. Of course, you can always settle differences through clear communication as well. I mean, personally, I was able to progress through my career in Dubai and work with different nationalities because when things get difficult, I always make sure that differences are settled through proper communication. I never had an argument with anyone. And I think it's always about using these tips and tools. Now, I still want, did you learn something from me today? Yes. Can you share at least? May natutunan ba kayo kay Ma'am Juan? Okay, thank you. Ken, now I want you to go back. I know we're always wrapping up because we only have a few minutes. I want you to go back to the objective that you have for attending this program, this short class. Now, I want you to write down what did you learn and what did you take from here? At least one thing. What will you do next so that you can develop high-performing teams? What can you do next so that you'll be a better performer? Now, I want you to share that, please. I like that, Jo Marie. Practice it personally. Listen twice, according to Dola. Listen twice before speaking. Listen to understand and not only to respond. Thank you. Now, I want to answer all your questions. But before that, of course, if you need further training about this topic, there are different sets and different levels. Would love to help you. Please reach out to ARIVA Academy. Similarly, I would like to please connect with me on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best platform for professionals, for businesses to learn as well. And I would like to invite you, actually, for Mother's Day, I have a very, very special gift to mothers. My co-founders from Switzerland, who's Fabian Baker, a former CFO of, Citibank Switzerland. Similarly, another friend of mine, Stella, we're actually having this moms group. So we do group coaching for moms because I know a lot of moms are struggling with their careers and with motherhood. So we're going to help them. For anything else on audit, training, or coaching, please reach out to me and of course to ARIVA if you need further training. I would like to thank you, everybody who's sharing. Ang dami pa. Practice assertive communication, Divina. Self-assess first, listen more, actions. Salamat. See, I am here to help you, but my takeaway from this, if you attend many webinars, at least make a list of one thing you will do from this webinar and use that. Because what you don't use, you will lose. But if there's any other question, I would like to welcome any question now. And of course, if you have any further questions, connect with me on LinkedIn or send me a WhatsApp message. I'll be more than happy to answer that. Now, Kate, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you so much. So yes, for those of you who have questions, you may type them here in the chat box or click the raise hand button so you can ask your question directly to our speaker. You can ask your questions now. Oh, here's a question. Interesting. From Jessica. What's your favorite book?
Wow. I've read many books, but one of my favorite is Not Your Money tsaka yung The Game of Life and How to Play It. But the most favorite of all times for me, the Bible. You know, I've learned so many things personally in personal development, but everything is in the Bible. So I really love to read that. It gives me so much joy, you know, and meaning to do what I do when I go back to that. Now, what are there any other? Those are my 3 favorite books. It's Not Your Money by Tosha Silver, The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Sheen. I cannot pronounce her last name. It's kind of difficult. And of course, the Bible has always been my guide. In my business, in my work, it's really the most powerful book, I'll say. Meron pa bang questions tayo, Kate? And of course, we would like to receive the feedback from them.
Yes. So please, the link to the feedback form is already here in the chat box. All you have to do is click that, download it, and send it back to us. Thank you. Here's another question that was sent ahead. What is the most important skill that an accounting professional must have?
You know, honestly, I think it's communication, really. Because if you understand communication, it's many ways. It's about writing. It's about speaking. I realize I am more than being a good auditor or an accountant. It's my communication skills that helped me progress. Like, for example, I wasn't getting promoted for a very long time here in Dubai. And I was like, why is that? But it's my communication skills that landed me my promotion. So I asked the question to the manager, to our head. I said, what do I need to do to be the next person to be promoted? And he told me, you know, I thought you never wanted a promotion, Wanda, because you have kids. I mean, it doesn't make it right or wrong, but you know, communication is very important. Similarly, I wouldn't be here today with you if I did not communicate with JM, right? That JM, I want to help more Filipinos, you know, share what I know. Communication is very important because you could be the best in what you do, but if you don't know that personally, if you don't say that to people, if you don't ask, you'll never get it. So accounting is good, but communication is another level, I'll say.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Another question. What advice can you give the young generation to become well-equipped, especially those who are graduating and planning to pursue their dream of becoming an accountant?
Wow, that's a very good advice. I think if you want to be an accountant, it's always good to have a vision of yourself. You know, before we graduate, say I graduated 2000, don't compute my age. So I remember one of the exercise that we did, and actually it's one of the exercises I do as a coach. You need to have like a visualization of what do you want 10 years from now? And I said, I want to be a certified public accountant. I want to have children at that age. I also want to work overseas. And all of that became a reality because, you know, your mind, because I studied NLP also, your mind has no limits. You have no limits too, but you need to be clear where you are and where you want to be. So if you want to be an accountant someday, know that what job do you want and start taking steps every day to become the best accountant you could be, because you could get that job offers even before graduating. You can get that job overseas if you are the best in what you do. It's a result. So, you know, even just study hard, do your best, because that is when the right job offers, the right opportunities will come and find you.
Thank you so much for that. Wow, I'm sure our participant found that very helpful. Any other questions? Baka meron pang hahabol? Or you would like to ask a question directly to our speaker? Pwede rin. Please, you can just click the raise hand button. Don't be shy. Again, libre pong magtanong right now. Baka after may bayad na.
Oo, habang libre pa, Kate. Magpipicture ba tayo later for them?
We will do that, yes, before.
Sige.
And I think wala nang question, Ms. Wanda. So, ako na lang po. I don't have a question, but I would like to say thank you for being very helpful, for being very generous. Your wisdom, really, marami po kaming natutunan sa inyo. Because of that, we'd like to present you with a certificate. Let me just read it. ARIVA Academy Learning Development at its finest gratefully presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Wanda Lee Tan Kalupi for imparting her professional expertise, valuable insights, knowledge, and the wisdom as a resource speaker during the conduct of online learning session entitled High Performance Finance Teams, Top Skillset for its Sustainable Finance and Accounting Profession. Given this 9th day of May 2023 via Zoom conference. Signed by J.M. Atienzo, Chairman and the Chief Strategist, Learning Event Producer, and Michelle Irish Malonda Samson, President and Chief Learning and Development Strategist. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for our first speaker.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you po sa inyong lahat. You know, I'm telling you, it's really my dream to be here. Thank you, JM talaga. And thank you to every person who registered. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Please do get in touch with me on LinkedIn if there's any way I can help you.
We are really very blessed to have you here with us this afternoon. And we're looking forward to be able to work with you again in the near future, Coach Wanda. And now, before we end our session, let's have a group photo with our speaker. So please, for those whose cameras are still turned off, can you turn it on right now? There we go. Let's have them on. Join us in this group photo. So I'll be calling on the assistance of our technical director, Direct Jello. Please help us out.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Kate. And now can I ask everyone to please kindly turn on your cameras for 2 shots of group photo. Are you guys ready? For the first shot, just give me your biggest smiles. Show me your biggest smiles, everyone. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. And now for a second shot, just give me a 2-finger hearts, please. Everyone, give me a 2-finger heart. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Back to you, Miss Kate.
Thank you so much, Direct Jello. In behalf of everyone from ARIVA Academy, I would like to say thank you so much to all of our participants for being with us this afternoon. We really learned a lot from our speaker, and we learned a lot from you as well. So we're looking forward to seeing you again in our future learning events. Maraming salamat. Have a blessed afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.